Starting parents of autistic children on the right track is the best gift we can give that family. Kahoot parenting course is Reframing and Autistic led. Our aim is to empower parents and for them to leave our course feeling that they are very capable of nurturing their autistic child in ways that are beneficial to the autistic child. Kahoot is based on the most current and up-to-date research, and autistic rights are at its very core. Because it's autistic-led, we know where many issues lie for autistic children, and many of these issues stem from lack of acceptance, proper support, and often familial relationships. Historically, parents have received inaccurate information and portrayals of their autistic children. Let's put this right for the next generation. Let's give families the very best start we can, and that's Kahoot. Kahoot is a beautifully supportive course to help parents to parent autistically and to raise their children authentically. We will train you and your team to deliver Kahoot over 5 weeks to parents of newly identified autistic kids.
Like you, we are parents. We're also autistic and neurodivergent in other ways. We understand the process of raising an autistic child, both from the perspective of the parent and the child. And this course is built on decades of personal experience and on the input of the autistic community and the most current research.
You won't get magic solutions to everything you will encounter, but it will give you a starting point to build on. Autistic insights on the autistic experience and on the experience of parenting an autistic child. It's important that parents are introduced to current ideas and to the autistic community, a community they are now part of. Week 1 breaks down myths about autistic people and explains what being autistic actually is when described outside of the very negative and oppressive medical model. This gives parents a more realistic and fair view of their autistic children rather than a medical model which has got it all so wrong. That ASD description fits into what we call the medical model. Another perspective, the social model of disability, takes everything the medical model describes and zooms out, considering the person in the context of their family, community, society, culture, the environment they live in. These are all the things we can change in some way. We can provide a person with a quiet, low input space to regulate and recharge. We can offer lower lighting, a sunshade, headphones, cut labels off clothes, push back against expectations of hugs or tickles, rethink rigid developmental milestones, be accepting of different ways to play and learn, different food preferences and personal pleasures, expand our understanding of ways to socialise and communicate. In week 2, parents get a real insight into what it feels like to be autistic. We take parents through how autistics sense, learn, play and communicate. We do this so that parents can see that everything their child does is perfectly and normally autistic. They can leave behind the ideas of deficits and red flags and go back to enjoying their kids. So much valuable time is wasted when parents view normal autistic things as problematic or things that need to be fixed. Once autistic ways are understood and accepted, then wonderful things can happen. Everyone can communicate, and we do that in many different ways. Trees communicate with each other, as do all living things, whether they use speech or not. Once we accept that there's no such thing as bad behaviour, then we can begin to unlock so much communication and start to build real connection. There's a reason behind our actions. As Kahoot is a parenting course, on week 3 we focus on family life and all that goes with it. Each family unit is different, but we've covered universal topics like organisational skills and parental self-care. Mealtimes can be stressful when we don't provide options, and many autistic kids have sensorially restricted diets which need to be catered for. So we also look at mealtimes and reframing expectations around eating. Just like all families, members of families with autistic kids will have a variety of sensory needs, sometimes even conflicting ones. So this week, we help parents to identify various sensory needs and to troubleshoot around these. This week we also provide parents with some fabulous strategies to enhance communication in the home. Eating is a multi-sensory experience for humans. How we feel at the time can influence how and what we eat. Ever just not feel like eating because you were excited? Ever want to eat an entire box of chocolates because you had a bad day? Our emotional state influences our eating habits, so making mealtimes as stress-free as possible is always a good idea. How do we do this? For you, it means removing expectations. For your child, it means offering them choices. Week 4 builds on previous weeks, where parents have been encouraged to reframe their thinking and to let go of societal expectations or neuroconformative ideas that are unhelpful to autistics. Parenting autistically might sound like a strange phrase to people who are not familiar with the autistic community, but in week 4, we develop this theme and really look at what parenting autistically means and how parents can employ many useful ideas. We also highlight the importance of self-care and getting the right support. This leads beautifully into week 5, which focuses on happy parent equals happy child. Parenting autistically means adapting. It means reframing your thinking and adapting to doing things that are best for your family, even though they may look very different to what we've been led to believe is best for us. Some kids will need time to themselves. They'll need time to decompress, especially if they've been around lots of people or spent a day in school, for example. Autistic adults often describe the need to recover from socializing as a social hangover. It can be exhausting for us to interact with people who've got different social skills to us. It can be exhausting if we feel we have to mask who we are and hide our natural way of communicating or our stims. Week 5 pulls all the previous week's work together. This week we introduce parents to autistic pride and what it means to raise a happy autistic kid who is proud of themselves. The Kahoot course pivots on the idea of happy parent equals happy child. And throughout the 5 weeks, parents are brought on a journey to let go of negative ideas enshrined in our culture and the medical model, and to open their minds and hearts to accept the perfect autistic child they have. The main message in Kahoot is your child is perfect as they are.